Hey y'all, Mandolin here, checking in. Didn't really have a video prepared for this week. I did have some things to speak on, but we've been dealing with Hurricane Dorian coming through, and I have to say that it actually turned out pretty doggone good. I don't know if you can see behind me, we've picked up most of the debris and all. I'll do a little turn here. We were very lucky. The Outer Banks caught it a little bit out in Ocracoke, some flooding there, but they know they live on a sandbar and they prepare accordingly. Things that have come out of this. Well, last year we had Hurricane Florence and there was lots of damage. People didn't expect it. We've been through so many hurricanes here. I've lost so much of my stuff over and over to flooding. And when I say lost in this case, really lost because things blew away. But watching people come together and help has been a good thing. Florida was spared, thank goodness. The terrible forecast that they had there. But things that have come out of this, me and my sister have never been what I would call close. But we've come together through this. Something that I always wanted all my life was, that solid relationship with my big sister. And it seems to be there. There's not really anybody left around. My brother's got so much to take care of, and my other brother has passed, that it was left to me and my son to help my dad. His garage was already falling from last year, and you just have to know my dad to know why it's still like that. So my son and I, mostly my son, got all of the stuff out of the garage, power tools and stuff, and said, well, if it goes, it goes. Anything underneath we can dig out and salvage later. Well, that garage stayed standing. Go figure. Just knew it would blow over. We have some leaning trees that we'll have to take care of. But it's not like before where we were having to scrub down because our homes got flooded. And here it doesn't flood, but when I lived in Pamlico it did. Pulled together. When it got really rough, I invaded my sister's space at about 4 o'clock in the morning when we had the really hard sustained winds. And she fixed me a place to lay down, and I got about 30 minutes worth of sleep. I'm going on about, 6 hours worth of sleep since Tuesday. This, can you see it, is the debris pile from last year and this year. You can see it. We have another one to match it in the back. So mostly this year it was, small sticks. And that's great. That's great. A lot of people, there's people without power, but they know how to handle this stuff. It's not sweltering hot, thank goodness, even though I'm looking a little unkempt. We do have water, we do have power. I've just been out. We've been getting everything cleaned up. Another thing, my nephew's wife delivered twins just before the hurricane hit. They're fine. They were kind of a little bit early, not bad, but that's going to be just fine, and she's fine. I don't know if my nephew is fine because now he has 4 kids in the house, and it's going to be really loud. Another good thing, a good friend that I had, and we just, our paths separated, and that's new to a lot of us, and so there's actually a sense of panic sometimes when you have a change coming on. And that seems to be patched up. And that makes me very happy. I asked everybody before this storm came, I said, just visualize the storm pushing further off coast and dissipating. There was a cold front. Picture that cold front coming down. And just send love to this angry eye of the storm. Well, we really were blessed. And I also understand that Marianne Williams said that she was meditating and sending love while this was going on to the people in this path. And the energy that she brings, win or lose, I'm not even saying support or not. What I'm saying is that she brought the right kind of energy. See, people, this is how we do this now. This is how we do this. We work together. We try to solve everything with love instead of force. You get better results and you feel better about it. I got word this morning that my aunt, she's in her 80s, had a fall, and it's not looking like she was going to make it. So we have two coming into the family and one that feels it's her time to leave. And while we'll miss her because she's such an awesome person and an amazing cook, everybody, it's all about eating in my family. Going to miss her. But I know where she's headed. And that makes it okay. This is a time of rebirth. Rebirth for humanity. We can do this. This storm was like a drill for us. Okay, try out your skills. Try out these things you've learned. And we did, and we saw wonderful results. This is going to be a very short video, but I'm not going to close out without. You want to see the leaning tree? That's the leaning tree. Can you see it? She's leaning. One of them. And let's see. Can you see that tree was from last year? It's already got parts missing, but it's grown back nicely. I'm not going to close this without saying the Bahamas. They need your help. If you can't get there and you can't send money, like so many of us are in that position, you can send love. You can send support energetically. And that's so important because on some level they do feel it. I remember when Hurricane Irene came through, I watched the Pamlico Sound march across the field because we could walk to the Pamlico Sound from our house pretty much. Come across the field. I told Eddie, you said it wasn't going to get that high. We had 3 horses at the time too. And came across the field, came up in the yard again. Eddie, you said it wasn't going to get this high. Well, his response to me was, what do you want me to do? Go tell it to stop? That's exactly what we should have done. I also learned through all these storms that my energy does affect them because they do feed off of fear. They do feed off of anger and greed and hate. Like I said, this storm is not bad in eastern North Carolina compared to what we have seen. The Wilmington area, thankfully, was spared. In Jacksonville, they were really, really nailed last year. And they were spared. There are people that still aren't in their homes from last year. So, to a small extent, because after Hurricane Irene, which flooded everybody around me, it was terrible, we stayed in a tent on the porch for 2 weeks. Fire ants, they're everywhere. And so that time in the tent for 2 weeks while everybody's things were outside of their house drying out while houses were destroyed was very small compared to what they're experiencing in the Bahamas. And it's going to be very bad for a while because not only did they have the ordeal of going through that storm. If you've never been through a hurricane, I've never been through a Cat 5 and I never want to go through a Cat 5. I've been oceanfront for a Cat 2 and that was by mistake. It wasn't on purpose. They closed the bridges early. I never want to experience that. And not only do they have the horrific experience of what they went through during the storm, destruction. You can barely see the footprint of some places, some houses, some buildings. But can you imagine? I have had to deal with seeing dead animals floating by in the storm waters. What they're seeing is humans, family, friends. And in some cases, they can't even identify them because the bodies have been there for so long. Now, we know that those souls are no longer in that vessel. But it hurts. And it hurts bad. And I'm seeing people arguing back and forth about minuscule things. I know everybody's daily life is going on. But you can take a few minutes out of your day. You'd be surprised what it does for another person when you've been touched enough to shed a tear, even in private. Even if you don't tell anybody, somebody felt that compassion. So I'm asking you all to reach out energetically. If you can donate, I suggest finding a humanitarian organization. There's already aid on the way, but before they can even start to assess, they've got to start cleaning up. If you've been through a hurricane, you know that the winds stop, the water recedes, and then you see what you think you have to do. And then as you start cleaning up, you find out what you really have to do. So if you're going to donate, find a good organization. My friend Kimberly, the night nurse from Reggae Redemption, is partnering with the Red Cross there, I believe. So I totally trust anything that she supports. But just send love. Just send love, send compassion and support. Because by doing so, you improve humanity and yourself. I would love to hear comments, as usual. Please share this video, because this is the new thing. This is what we're learning. This is how we're learning to live. Believe it or not, these are ancient wisdoms. These are ancient ways. And we're coming back to them. This is how you survive now in this world. So take a moment. Share this with somebody. Ask them to practice compassion and support. Spread the word. There's nothing to lose. You've got absolutely nothing to lose by it. And just remember that one person's catastrophe today or disaster could be yours tomorrow. And what we see through these terrible things is we get the chance to see that people still care, that they still pull together. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I want to go see my friend. I haven't seen her in a day or two since the hurricane. I want to go see her. Sorry, we got bugs all over the place out here right now. And just remember to be so grateful. Be so grateful in your situation. Because if it's a situation that needs to improve, then you have the opportunity to improve. You just have to find the mode. Okay? Reach out. I would love to hear from you. Subscribe. I need all the help I can get on this journey and in spreading this word. And definitely like this video. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Like this video, because it's all about love. If they had a love button, I'd tell you to hit that. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourself. Show love to yourself. And if you can reach out and help, reach out. If you need help, reach out. We're all here for you. All right, everybody, I love you. And let me say, that sun up there shining is a little bit warm, but I'm very glad to see that in these Carolina blue skies. They're beautiful. And got a little bit of the moon out up there. I love you guys. Take care.